So today, let us talk on how in Python we can work on the file system. Okay. So maybe sometime we need to write our output, our processing data on the file system, and sometimes our application can require to read the content, the lines from the file. So for those, Python support the concept of a file handling. So we are going to learn the way Python allow Python developer can read and write the file. Okay. So let's do. So simple to handling file. Uh, Python file handling is also fundamental concepts that allow you to work with files, maybe one file, two file, anything. And what the main things, reading from files, are them, are writing to them, are managing them. The three operations we are going to do. Let's say we have a couple of files in my systems. So I want to manage this file from my Python program. So for the management, for reading, and for writing. So all these three are provided by the Python in the file handling. Python support several functions for like creating file, reading file, updating file, deleting files. We'll going to take how these operation or function we can know. This is a file operations many places in our application that required. So we should aware for handling file Python's which functions, what several functions they provided. So we are going to learn which functions are help us to creating, reading, writing the file content. So whenever you are going to handling file, the key function in the Python for working with a file is open function. This is the by default one in build. Whenever you install a library of the Python or install Python in your system, by default open functions is available for every Python developer. This is the built-in function. That function take two parameters. One is your file name, another is your mode. What is the mode? I'll talk. But so whenever you are going to work on any file, we mention the file name, and these are the mode. Mode are the which kind of operations you are going to perform. So we're going to talk. There are different types or mode you can apply here whenever you specify the mode. So we're going to talk, but only the one function open is very sufficient to handle file. That means whenever in a Python program you want to read, write, or any kind of operations you want to work with the files, just use this open function. Open function just mention the file name and what the operation you want to perform, read, write, create, delete. So lots of functions we are going to talk, but the various Pythons are provide very simplified way to do file handling. Many other programming languages to reading, writing file is not so simple, but in a Python, very simplest way you can read file or you can write file. Okay. So let's talk the mode. So mode means the operations. Whenever you are going to use your open a file, so this is the file, and you are going to open a file. Okay. So generally you are opening file for which purpose? You are going to read content, whatever written in this file. So this is R stand for the read. This is the default mode. If you open a file, you can just say, hey, I am going to open, and this is my file name. Just specify here. You will not specify anything. The default is the read. By default, you are going to read the content of the file. So whenever I say default mode R, that means keep open a file for reading, either if the file does not exist. If you are going to giving their file name, if a file does not exist, this open API, open function throw an exception. Okay, be aware whenever you are going to say open your file name here, this file must be exist. Okay, the first thing. And second mode is the append. Append stand for a opening a file for appending. This key, whenever you open the file, at the end you are going to adding the lines. So created a file if does not exist. So this is the append mode. If you are specifying the file name here, if file not exists, then it will create. If file exists, they are going to append at the end. Similarly, another mode is the write mode. Write mode, open a file for writing. Create file if does not exist. Whenever you open file, you want to specify I want to write mode. So in this case, if a file exists, they can open. If file does not exist, it shall create the new file for you. That not throwing any kind of exception. And similarly, one mode X for the create, just create a specified file. A return either if the file does exist. You can say I am going to X mode. That means you are going to create a specific file. That means if the file already exists, it will also throw exception. So this is already exists. Why you are going to create again file? And these are two more like T for the text. By default, Python support, whenever you are going to any open file, they are understanding you are reading and you are going to default text reading. Okay, the default you can say R and T. Default means read and text. And another mode known as a B, binary data, whenever you are working with some images, photograph, or some binary mode. So for those, we have these kind of mode you have read binary and write binary. So these are the mode, or you can say operation type you can specify whenever you are going to work with a file, and working in a file in the Python, you have to use the open function, and here you can specify two arguments. First, your file name. Second, your the mode. Mode can be any one of them. If we are not specify second argument, then by default they consider RT mode, that means open for reading text. So let's look at some code and example. So first thing, how you can open a file. So Python use built-in open function. So just say, hey, open is a function and your file name, and here is the mode. You want to specify R for a read mode. So this you can open the file. Now you can read data from this file. Okay, so let us okay. So here you can simply say I want to create open a file equal to open function, open function, open function here. And here you can pass your file name. Let this is my module file name. So how you can pass your my module file. So whenever this is the way you can open a file. And if you run this code, this is an exception. What happened? I pass the file something like 1.2. And notice here there is no 1.2 file. And if again you run here, so notice they are throwing it. No such file or directory found. So by default, this open function is expecting you are passing the file name that must exist. Because by default is the read mode. Read mode file you are going to reading contents. If there is no exist that particular name of the file from where you are going to read the content. Okay. So here if you say, hey, no, I want to read. So whenever you specify open and a file name. By default, this is go and check, hey, this file like this. And even you can specify your second parameter, hey, I want to maybe a read mode. So be specifically say, hey, you are creating a file for the read mode. That's okay. So the way this is the mention here, you can use open function to open any file. You mention the file name and mention the mode. Mode, if you are not specify anything, by default go read for the text mode. Okay, RT. Whatever the details are given, if you are using any editor like I'm using, so once you open the file and if you can just open and just right click and go to the here your implementation and figure out this is open function and what the modes they are passed by default now. And if you go detail here, they mention all the details whatever we are. R for read mode default, W for writing, X for creating a new file, A for appending at the end of file if does not exist, B for the binary mode, T for the text mode, and X plus one more is for the specifically open a bits file for updating, reading, and writing both. So these kind of modes are available. Here also mention default mode is RT open for reading text. So whatever the library you are using, that library already provided the detailed documentation. Just go through and read. Okay, what this open function do? They are complete written here. Okay, okay. So this is the way. Let us look. So now let's you open the file. Then next, what you're going to do? Maybe you are going to read the content. So for reading from the file. So first you open the file. I open the file. I open the file. This file variable have a function read. Whenever you apply read, they give you the contents. Okay. So if you say here file, sorry. Okay. Here say file dot read. Whenever you say the read, they provide the content of the file. So whenever say file dot read, they return content of the file, and then you can say print content. If you so if you notice this is the file and go here and check, this is the one file contains some two functions and some variables, some comment code. So this complete data are read by this function. Read it, run it, and notice complete. This is your complete contents read by this function. The read function by default read all the content of the file. Okay, and even this is the read function. And good practice, whenever you open the file, this is the file, and you can say, hey, this is my file and I am opening. But now you reading the content, hey, here all the content you read and you are printed. After that, the file pointer is open here, you have to close the file. This is a humble general recommendation. Whenever you are opening the file, once your working completed, reading writing done, after that you have to close the file, so that the file pointer which open for this, that must be you close it. Okay, so generally preferable way we go, hey, I done my done, then I can say file dot close, so that this file is now not accessed by our Python. Our Python interpreter is not pointing any kind of references with this file. Okay, so preferences way always try to close the open file. Which file you open, do your working, and after that you have to close them. Okay, so this is the way you can read the file. Simple, just first open the file, and this file object have a method read. You can just, hey, I am reading, you are getting the content, and after that just print the content, write the same anywhere, and after that you must close the file which you open. And for reading, we have a two more methods, maybe read line or read lines. So sometime you want play. Here, sometime I am just want to first line, only one line. So you can say, hey, line equal to file.read line. So just they return only one line. Sometime you want to read line, they can just first one line. Okay, next. You want to all lines. Similarly, we have a method lines. Lines say read lines, and here say you have to now these are the return the list of you can say lines. So you have to loop them line 1, line 2, line 3. So this is the way you can okay. This is the way you can read the line by. So this is the only one line we read, and after that here this notice complete codes are written after that. Even you can say read line multiple times. Okay, notice here I can say again. No, here say again read line. Okay. Okay. So notice here line 1, line 2. Two lines you read it. After that you read it all lines. So here notice the first two line read after that. So here the concept is that whenever your file is open. So let us example here this is your file. Whenever you open file, the file pointer point to the your first. Whenever you say read line, so whenever the first line, whatever the content they are written, after it the pointer move to the next line. So whenever you say read line, again they read a complete line, they read complete line, a pointer move to the next line. And after the key, this the two lines are printed, and after say read all lines. So from here, whatever the all lines they are returns as a list of lines. And now here loop, you can say first line print, second line print, third line print. Here strip is the function that you say if a particular line have a some space initially this space are trimmed by this strip function. Okay. Clean the okay. So here if you notice this is the strip function return the copy of a string leading and trailing white space removed. So whenever you have a want to some character, maybe some initial space and letter space, so they remove those and then return. Okay. So if you run again and observe the output, notice this is my py file. This is the first line. Notice this is first line, and this is my second line. This is my second line. A third line. After that, third line all written by the read all. So file pointer is maintained by this file variable. Okay, so these are the functions. Sometime you read the line by line, go to the line by line, or you want to read all, you can simply say read all content. Read all content. So this is the way you can notice. So notice here, whenever you say read content, they return all the file and file pointer go to the last. And after that, notice I read first line, I'm not getting anything. Second line, I'm not getting anything. Even the read lines, not getting anything. So whenever you open one file and this file pointer started from your, initially this is the first pointer, okay? Whenever you say read, that means they are reading all the content from here to here, okay? They return to the here content. And after that, you say read line, there is no content. Read line, no content. Read all lines, no content. So no data you are getting here. So be aware after opening file, which operation you perform, accordingly your file pointer move to the next. Hope. So this is the way you are read file. Very simplest way to read in the file. Nothing, just opening the file. Operation maybe read all content, read lines, one line, read all lines. be aware file pointer move according to your function invocations of the read. So let's talk how to write the file. Okay. Similarly, same function we can either write. Just mention that I want to write the file. This is my new file name. Mention this write mode. I am going to create the new file, and just use the write function to write. Okay. So let us. So here, just close. I am going to say, hey, I am going to say file, and I want to open, and here I mention that's a hello text file. So I mention one hello.txt file in the write mode. Okay, and after that you can say, hey file dot I want to write hello words. Okay, and maybe some another line, any line you want, right? Here say now after that file dot go. So here you have a file options, and here you can say write hello word. This is the sample line. Whatever the write function, they are going to write line by line. So they are different. If you run this code, notice here there is no my hello.txt. If I run, they will create. Run, done, and notice hello.txt created. And in this file, notice they are created hello world and then the sample. Notice second line is created after the again same. Whenever you are giving file that write, they first here they open the file, they open file hello words, they are written here hello words. Okay, and file pointer is still there. Whenever you write sample this line, they write sample this line. Okay, and file pointer, but here is a new line, then file pointer from instead here they move to the next line. Whenever I write next word this, the file they written here, you can say again new line, the file pointer move to the next line. So while writing file, you have to specify if you want to move to the next line. Else by default, the write functions are writing the content and moving the file pointer to the next to the next to the next. So be aware whenever you are writing, if you want to do the new line, different line, you have to specify. Or other function we have to perform. Okay. So these for want to, this is the function they are already written here. You have to explore how they are written everything, but yeah, this is the function you have. This is the, maybe you want to write lines, so here say write lines, line by line, write one line, or read line. All the functions are here written. This text based IO function, read lines function, line, similarly write function and write line function, these are the function available for our help. So this is the simplest way to writing of content into the file, just using the same function, and open library and use the write function to write the content. And even here you can use the W for your write mode, or if you want to maybe you can use for the append at the line at the end. Okay. So let us see. I am going to open another file, open, and here I can say maybe your append. Okay, here a name hello 2, and here I can write. Okay, you can write, okay, in this way. So now we have a append model. They are going to write in the data. And here and hello text 2. Notice they are writing hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 in this way. So they are always going to write data at the end, at the end. So writing file into any file is very simple, just use the write function. So let's again, what is the best way to read the file? Generally, Python support, sometime developer open the file and just forget to closing the file. Let's say you open the file, you open a file, this is you open the file and you read the content, you read the content, and after that you forget to close this file pointer. So somehow uh, the best practice is that let them Python automatically handle this closing the file. So how you tell Python, hey, you can do automatically closing all the file which I open. So for that, you can either with the command, you can say, hey, with and open. Whenever you mention with and open file as a file, this is a variable name. Now this is a file open with this. You can read the content and print. After that, this file is automatically closed by the file. So the best way, whenever you are going to reading the file, you can use the with. So this how to do? This is the way. So here close them. I can say with. You can say open, open file, and mention like our let's my module as as file. Okay. Now here you can say file the content and this. So this is the way you can do. Now I can read out the file. Here I don't need to say, hey, again, don't need to say, hey, file.close. This line is not required because this syntax automatically know, hey, this is the file opened by developer. Once done, I'll close this file automatically. So this things is automatically taken care by this syntax. So generally preferable way, whenever you are going to just open and read the file, so use this with open as a variable name, and after that whatever read line, read all whatever things you can do, you can do. Okay, so this is the way you can automatically close the open file if so. That is taken care by your with this statement. But the syntax just mention with open your file, and this file consider as it is a file variable. From this variable you can call the read function or whatever the function, and after that there is no need to say, hey, close the file. Automatically taken care by your with this statement. Okay, so sometime you want to even the you open file and you want to all the line by lines file iteration. Sometimes your file is big, you want to iterate one by one. Okay, so here I just read all content. I don't want to read all the content. I say, hey, I want to iterate one by one line right now. So here, simply say this is the file contain multiple line. So you can say, hey, for for line one line in keywords and mention this file variable. And now just print here. In this way, you can read the line by line. Let's see here say print. Okay. Okay. Comma. You want to do some kind of a modification in each line or something operation you can do. So notice here first line and this is the length character, second line this is the length. Maybe you can say okay, this. So notice this is the way if you want to say. Of control set. This is the way you can get the length. So whatever the operation you want to do one by one, you want to uppercase to lowercase for each line, you can do. To line. Okay, any operation you can perform, line, strip, lots of function this have you can do, maybe formatting, join, count, center, encode, formatting, lots of is lower, is to upper you want, you can say I want to all in to here you can send, you can check is lower, is upper, all the things you can just say to lower. It will convert it into the all other lowercase. You want to upper, you can say all in the uppercase. Okay. So all these operations you can perform in the line by lines, right? So this way, this file just is the you can read all. Here you can say whenever say for in files by default they are going to read one by one lines. Here you can just use lots of line here, lots of line. This is the file pointer, and we will say, hey, line one, the one line given to this, and one line printed here. Again, move to the file, any new line, again given to the again given to the here. It become a loop. Again given to the here. Once in the file, this loop is automatically closed. So sometime you want to loop one by one and do some perform operation, you can do. This we are using this opening file with this statement, they are automatically closed. You do not need to close file manually. Okay, so sometime you uh, want to file pointer movement. Okay, so just like you open a file, okay, and after that you want to just read only read just first five character. You can just mention five character, and even you want to go again, go back to the zero, go back to the start, or again read all. So as you have a control, you can move file pointer a specific place where you want. Okay, so let us, so same file here. Okay, same file open here, and here we are going to say, hey, read just five character. Okay, so here say print read and mention this the five. So only they are going to read first five character. Notice here, this is my sample here. This is only five character. 3, 4, 5 till 5 they are printing. They are five printing. Okay. And you can say, hey, maybe after that, maybe you can say file dot seek, and you can mention the go to the zero place or one place, and after that you can say again read the file dot read, and after that they read all the contents. Okay, so notice this is the here again set zero again. If I'm not set zero here, let's say not set zero here, and again say read line. So notice they are ready after that. Okay, this is the first five, and after that, or you can say I want to set maybe 10, and you run. So they are printing after 10 character. So here file pointer where you want to mention maybe after 100. So after 100 character you can get the data, right? So here you want to move file pointer. What are the place you want? You can move. The seek help us the move pointer the place. Here first we read the five character. This is the first five character. The by default, if you go read from this here, okay, by default. If not moving the file character to the zero, they are starting from here. Next, if you read here, so they first this is the five character. After that they start again reading. So you can say, no, no, I want to move the back or forward. Whatever the place, you can move the file pointer. So this seek function help us to move our file pointer whatever the place you want to go. And sometime in the read function you can specify the number 1 2 3 4 that is specify read first 5 10 20 whatever the character want. Okay, so in the read you cannot specify if you're not passing any input parameter here, that means they're reading all the contents from the current file pointer, from the current file pointer. If you open the file pointer, there is starting point, and here you can move the file pointer up and down. Okay, so even you want to use this function file.tell, return the current position. What are the current position if you want? Let's go. So here you can say uh, after that you can say print file dot tell. So tell us give by the current pointer. So notice here they give the current pointer 5. After 5 they are ready. And if say I move back to 0, I move up to 0, and after that again print. So they are file pointer, they return the here after that. So notice they are the 5 0 and current file pointer also 0. So sometime you want to check where is my current file pointer, so you can use this tell function. Okay, the tell function return the current file pointer, and seek function say move the file pointer to specified position. The seek means you can say here 10. So whatever the file you open, they move the 10 character file pointer from here. They are going to read right. So you can say tell and seek two function. Tell know where the current file pointer, and or seek tell us where you want to move your file pointer. So for moving your file pointer, you have to either seek, and you want to know where the my current file pointer, you can either tell function. So this way, sometime I want you can say some uh, level of our own reading writing flow, then file pointer help us. Sometime you want to check, hey, the particular file exists or not exists. So then you have to use the inbuilt module OS, and we have os.path and exists. Check the particular file exists or not. So sometime you want to check, hey, I am going to reading this file. If this file not exists, let's okay. If you run, this will say, hey, this is something problem. So first, before going to opening a file, maybe I want to check this file exists or not. So for that, you have to use, hey, import OS model. Okay, OS, and here say, hey, if check if our OS module dot path dot exist, and then say uh, print file exist, else you can say file does not exist. Here if let's hello.txt, if you run, they can say, hey, file exists. What you can say, hello 1.txt, check, file does not exist. So this os.path.file just mention they check, ensure that your file exists, then do some operation. If file not exist, then do some other operation, whatever you want. So sometime this OS function help us to check my file existence. Sometime we know, hey, I am going to perform some kind of operation if the particular file exists. This help us. Okay, and sometime maybe you want, if maybe some file exists, then I want to maybe delete, or maybe I want to remove the some folder. So some operation you want to delete the particular file, just say os.remove and mention the file that they remove. Or you want to some remove complete the folder, or os.remove directory. So you want to delete the file, you can say remove. You want to delete the folder, you can say rmdir. remove directly. So let us here. In case our file found, if file found, then I can say os dot remove this file. So if this file found, you can remove this. If so, let us say if not found, so let's say file 2. So if file 2 already found, then we have to remove file because this file 2 already exists right now. So here say file 2 exists and then remove them. Run here. Notice file existence and now file 2 removed. Next time again we run. So say file 2 does not exist, then we are not going to remove them. So this OS module help us to check the existence, remove folder, remove directory. So lots of function here. You have a options. You want to maybe remove directories, rename, replace. Lots of function we have. You want to perform on this function. Okay, so lots of function this class has. Just you can explore, right? Like maybe os dot rn dir. Okay, so mention the directory and remove. Here you notice this is the rm directory folder. So this is way you can sometime you can remove, delete, or check the existence. So this import os help us. So this is the little bit idea if you want to play a work with a file in the Python. Okay, so if you want to any kind of operation you want to perform in the Python, then you can use just only one function open, and open mention the file name and the mode which you want, and after that we have a file pointer available, and file pointer you can perform the read operation, write operation, right? Maybe read line operation or read all lines operations, any operation. Even you want to move the file pointer cursor, then you can say tell tell us current position, maybe seek, move file pointer to specific places. So all these operations you can very simply do from this open function in the Python. And if you want to check the particular file existence and not existence, you can use the OS. So this is the point which I want to convey to handle the file. So hope this information is helpful. Thank you.